You've heard about what it takes to get the customer to buy in the store once they walk in and hopefully come back. But how do you predict the buy button in your consumer's mind? How do you use the analytics? How do you use the data to go one step further and say, how do I get her, how do I get him to come back in, and once he or she does, I think I know what they're actually going to buy. Well, to tell us more about that, we have Ganesh Subramanian, who's founder and CEO of Style Lumia, and hopefully he's going to help us press that right button that's going to keep us all rolling in wealth for the next few years. Ganesh?
Yep. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Am I audible? Right. Just a quick background about myself. I've been in the fashion and retail space for the last 25 plus years. 75% of my time I've been buying merchandising, running retail stores across various brands and retailers, global and Indian. And 25% of my time, which is very important, last few years, I've been working with the online retail. Who am I right now? I'm a fashion professional, continues to be so, but working with a lot of nerds. And I'm becoming a nerd. I would call myself a fashion nerd. May sound like an oxymoron, but looks like that right now. But what am I going to talk about? But I'm very passionate about understanding human brain. And I'm also passionate about predicting the future. For what I'm going to talk about, brain is neuro and predictions. What I'm going to talk about today is about neuro predictions. And this prediction is for what? To understand what would make our consumers click the buy button. Before I start, in a very quick exercise, I hope all of you can see those two balls with some blue balls and red balls. Here is a question to all of you. You will get $100 if you pick a red ball from any one of this ball, but the condition is you have only one attempt, right? And before you pick, you will be blindfolded. And if you win, you get $100. Quickly tell me, how many of you are going to pick the ball from ball A? Raise your hands. Okay. Now, how many from ball B? Fair amount. And this is what the research has also shown, that this question was asked to lots of students from Harvard and Stanford and across the world, and equal amount of people picked ball A and ball B. If you actually look at mathematically, ball A is the right answer. If you look at it, there are 10 balls, and there is only one red ball. For the probability of winning is 10%. The second one, there are 100 balls, and there are 8 red balls. Why a lot of people here, and most intelligent, rational people across the world, picked ball B? The reason is, it's pretty simple. Somebody got a Nobel Prize, Daniel Kahneman, in 2002. He got a Nobel Prize for predicting this human bias. We all tend to believe what we see. It's called what you see is all there is. In ball B, we all saw fair amount of red balls. We thought maybe if we put our hand, the chance of getting a red ball is high. And this is how the fashion industry has been researching fashion for many decades. For when we go around a street and see lots of stripes happening and say stripes are trending now, and we conclude and we start placing money on stripes. Is that true? No. Why is that happening? We all neglect the denominator. We are driven by the numerator and we neglect the denominator. It's called a denominator neglect. Look at it. Just fill the blank. And most of you will fill it with soup. Am I right? Try this out. Now you're filling it differently. What happened? Are we rational? We all think we are rational, but we are not. We are all influenced by what we see around it, and that too visual cues make a huge difference in our decision making. For as humans, when we go around to research, find out what's trending, what my consumer is thinking, everything is driven by what we see around it, and we are far from the truth. For we are all primed. Now let's look at, we want to understand what this consumer is thinking and what is the current way of prediction. There are some fundamental flaws in this. To predict anything, first we go and ask the consumer, what do you want? That's one way of predicting, either asking them or through analyzing the data that you have. When you ask this question, the fundamental flaw is that the person whom we are asking do not even know what he or she wants. Now, how do we get around it? And that's neuroprediction for do not trust your consumers, do not trust their answers. What they do is more important than what they say. For how can we decode their facial expressions? There is a lot there. I don't know whether you heard about it. Eyes don't lie. Even in lie detection, people track the eyeballs of people and predict whether the person is saying a lie or not. Can we do all of this in next few minutes? And what's the tone of voice? Don't go by the content. Look at the tone of voice. You can actually predict what they're really saying. Now, neuroprediction is at the intersection of neuroscience, human psychology, deep learning, and artificial intelligence. That might sound a bit simple, but you're going to understand the rest of the session. To understand neuroprediction or how to predict, we really need to understand how the human brain functions. Now, the human brain has three parts. There's a fundamental level, which is reptile brain, which is millions of years old. And on top of that is the middle brain, which is the emotional brain. On top of that is the rational brain, which is the recent one. All our analytics and rationality comes from this. Now, let's look at what some of the experts in the world say about the brain structure. A neuroanthropologist says the reptilian always wins. Now, we'll quickly understand what this reptilian brain is. And a professor of neuroscience says the amygdala, which is the reptilian brain, has more influence on the rational brain. Daniel Kahneman, who won the Nobel Prize, says that the automatic brain, which is the reptile brain, always wins. What does that mean? Our intuitive, reactive reptile brain is causing for us to take all decisions, which means all our consumers are making decisions based on the instinctive part of the brain. Now, this instinctive part of the brain, it's very important to understand, it's 500 million years old, it's ever-present, it's always on, it's effortless, it's unconscious, and it's uncontrollable. It's very instinctive. Most of the buying decisions on the floor, whether it's online or offline, it's happening from this reptile brain. So if you understand the reptile brain, we will discover the buy button. We're coming there quickly. Look at this picture. Can you understand the emotion? It took nanoseconds for you to know what this person is thinking. Now I'm going to test your neocortex, which is the rational brain. Try calculating what this number is. Mind is going all over, right? Now, this is now neocortex in action. Now, I'm going to create a complication of both of your brains working together. Okay? This is going to be a small group exercise. Please cooperate and let's do it together. The rule of this is read out loud the colors, not the letters. You will read out the colors, not the letters. Can we start? Red, white, come on. Green, blue, black, green, red, brown. Fantastic, very smart. Now I'm going to give you the complication, okay? Now do it faster. Same rule applies. Read out loud the colors, not the letters. Start now. Not so smart. Can you see? We are all over. What's happening? Your neocortex, rational brain, and the emotional brain are in conflict, right? Now, it's very, very important. If you have to get the consumer's reptile brain and focus, we need to understand how do we stimulate this reptile brain. Quickly. Now, the reptile brain is self-centered. It's very selfish. Now, that's why most of the marketing campaigns target you. So you will see the word you in most of these campaigns because it's targeting the selfish nature of this brain. Now, reptile brain captures contrast. Whether you're making fashion design, whether you're making ad campaign, keep this in mind. Now, this is a very interesting contrast. It's a yogurt company putting an ad saying that it will build your bone strength. It has to be tangible. Reptile brain captures the beginning and the end very, very clearly. It has been proved, for example, if you want to improve eating healthy foods, because the reptile brain will understand the beginning and the end, if you just shuffle the way the menu is kept, keep the healthy food in the beginning and the end, you will eat more of healthy food, just by simply shuffling. Now, reptile brain is very, very visual. Please understand, most of our analytics today is non-visual. Most of the analytics is done in spreadsheets. And spreadsheets do not capture the reptile brain of the consumers. You can never analyze fashion in spreadsheets. How many of you use spreadsheets for your analytics? I'm sure most of us use spreadsheets for analytics. It's a time to think. The age of fashion 1.0 of analytics is gone. And reptile brain is very emotional, right? So you capture the emotional side of the customer by projecting emotions. For example, the cigarette smoking, if you see the packaging, you will see the emotion coming alive very clearly there. Now, this is very interesting. Can understanding reptile brain by using, and can be used in any areas of life. There was a challenge in this Amsterdam airport. In the men's urinal, there was high spillage of urine in that airport. Now, somebody wanted to solve this problem. And the clue is they used visual to solve this problem. Can you guess what they would have done? And capturing the reptile brain. Interesting, right? They did something similar to that. This is what they did. They actually painted a fly, right? So that men can actually focus and aim there. And you won't believe they improved 80%, right? Just by doing this small activity, right? Visual has phenomenal impact. Now, where am I heading? Stylumia is not supporting any of these businesses. We use neuropredictions to support fashion brands and retailers all over the world. Top 2 of the 3 fashion brands in the world use Stylumia analytics platform. Now, this is when I was in Oxford Street a few weeks back, I took this picture from the road. Now, the person who's constructing these stores would look at, where do I want customers to focus? Can you predict where will customers' eyeballs go in this store? Yes, we can today, using neuroanalytics. We can actually predict the heat map of the store by our neural engine. It will tell you exactly whether you are doing visual merchandising, whether you are doing in-store layout, whether you are doing an ad campaign, or you want to analyze your own product. Now look at this image. How many buying range review discussions that we have sat, and some dress is doing well or a top is doing well, you ask somebody, why is this dress doing well? Will you not get more than one view on the table? Raise your hand. Multiple views. Somebody will say print is good. Somebody will say color is good. No, the ruffle sleeve is good. But the point is, unless we decipher what really works, we are not going to take the corrective action. Now here science comes in play, that using Stylumia's neural engine, you can actually predict what are the heat spots of this particular garment. Where would consumers' reptile brain will go here? For this is powered by tons of data of consumer eyeball movement, and that's how we predict. Now, that's Stylumia Iris for you. That's a new product that we are just launching. Now, noise versus signal. We talked about, right, denominator neglect. We all go and do a lot of research. We really don't know the denominator. What really works is something that, you can simply ask a question to Stylumia. What's trending in Zara in the last 3 months in UK? You get an instant answer. Not what is there, what really works. You know blockbusters real-time globally. Now that's Stylumia MIT and Stylumia Runway for you. You can get runway trends. You can track global retail fashion trends, including India. Now, we talked about spreadsheets being used all over the world for studying fashion. And I want to give you a very quick example of this. We worked with one of our clients, a premium brand, and we analyzed their own data for the last 2 years, and we asked this question, what does your customers like? And the head of buying said, T-shirts. What in T-shirts they like? Navy blue. What in navy blue they like? Bold print and number print. And we asked her, what in navy blue T-shirt, bold print, number print does not work? Blanked out. And all of you asked this question, human brain cannot remember what works and what doesn't work at the same level. And what does that mean? We continue to buy at the same level of our heuristic. Now, to solve that problem, that we have a tool to analyze all your fashion data, which is completely visual. Now, this is Stylumia Capture. You can capture real-time what consumers are wearing, what are their various body parts, and what are the attributes of that product can be used in real-time in retail. All of this you can experience outside in our stall. And we can also detect sentiments, right? What are they saying? There are a lot of comments happening there. You know, you type the comment, you can find out whether they are sad, happy, or angry, whatever. It gives you the prediction across, comments across social media and your own websites. Now, just to conclude, if you understand reptilian brain of your consumers really very well, and across various streams of professions that we are in, what can happen? If teachers understand reptilian brain very well, there'll be better education. I see a lot of institutes, people coming here. If designers understand reptilian brain very well, we'll have better creations in delight. If merchandisers do it, there'll be better availability in retail. Buyers will create better sales. Leaders will create better teams. Mall owners will create better experience. Store managers will create better stores. This is where I started off with. This was to impress your rational brain. But in simple, what neural prediction means is to discover this buy button in the consumer's brain. Thank you very much.